Dustin, Lucas, Will, Mike. Dustin, Lucas.
So next time you see a mosquito on your arm, you can simply take it and... If you stomp on a spider, you might end up releasing a swarm of hundreds of babies all at once. Then they will gather in the shape of a swarm. If you stomp on a spider, he shoved the mascot aside to take a man-of-the-match picture, making sure he got all of the attention. The other football players who won the award refused to take the picture with him, but when Ronaldo received the same prize and invited the mascot to take a photo with him, allowing him to remove his mask, and it was I show speed. He shoved the mask. If the young mother drinks a lot of matcha tea, could the milk come out green? You see, breast milk is composed of 90% water. The rest is made up of lactose, fat, and protein, and it makes the newborn strong. So if the mom eats C4 explosive, her baby could become a Gula Mohammed Salih. If a flood is coming to your neighborhood, use long pipes with water in your front yard and add more tubes until your entire house is surrounded, making it impossible for water to flow. And as the water rush into the neighborhood, your house will stand still. But don't forget to disconnect the tubes from the sewer tap, because when a Dorito If a flood is coming to your neighborhood,
the child's foot size was too large and no regular shoe size would fit him. But Shaquille O'Neal saw his story on Stickstock and invited him to a store to buy large-sized shoes. When they went to the store, Shaq handed him a brand new Nike shoebox, making the boy happy, and as he opened it, the child's foot size was too large and no regular shoe size would fit him. The child's foot size was too large and no regular shoe size would fit him. But Shaquille O'Neal saw his story.
If you forgot where you parked, you could press a button on your car key, causing a bright LED to rise from the roof. If you had the premium version, a small drone would launch from the trunk, find you, and bring you back. If that still wasn't enough, the hydraulic suspension would kick in, making the car bounce up and down so it was easier to spot. As a final backup, flares would shoot from the roof, making the vehicle easy for both you and the police to locate. If you forgot, Cristiano Ronaldo once asked a McDonald's worker if she had any leftover burgers to spare. He would knock on the back door feeling hungry, and the kind woman would save a few burgers for them. Years later, after becoming the GOAT, Ronaldo never forgot what she did. He eventually found her again, shared an emotional reunion, and surprised her by gifting her a restaurant of her own. Cristiano Ronaldo. He ignored protocol and may have prevented a nuclear catastrophe. In 1983, Soviet early warning systems reported that 5 American nuclear missiles were heading toward Moscow. The lieutenant colonel realized that a genuine first strike would likely involve thousands of missiles, not just 5. So he chose not to authorize a retaliatory launch, risking his own career. Thankfully, the alert was a false alarm caused by sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds. He ignored protocol and may have prevented a nuclear catastrophe.
Shoe size would fit him. But Shaquille O'Neal saw his story on Stickstock and invited him to a store to buy large-sized shoes. When they went to the store,
start by taking the center circles first. This gives you more maneuverability at the beginning. Then keep a low center of gravity, bend your knees, and smell the opponent's ass to increase your chance of winning. But if your opponent tries to push you, shift your weight. Start by holding the pen at a 45-degree angle, locking your shoulder joint. Professional calligraphers have discovered that if you write with your entire hand instead of just your wrist, the lines become perfectly straight due to the use of large muscle groups. However, if you start writing too beautifully, the pen will Start by holding the pen at a 45-degree angle, locking your shoulder joint. Professional calligraphers have discovered that if you swallow a magnet, most people think it will attract more gold rings to steal them through your stomach. You see, if you swallow several magnets, this can cause dangerous tissue compression and can lead to critical internal organ damage. However, if you swallow a powerful neodymium magnet, your body will turn into a super If you swallow a
One last Zeck films video.
Iron bolt. He jumped into the DeLorean to travel back in time to touch himself as a child.
One last Zeck films video.
Iron bolt. He jumped into the DeLorean to... Did you know that... Yeah! Miguel give me this. Did you know that?
always starts by controlling the hotspots and trying to occupy triple word score cells. This will almost guarantee your winning. But never just chase long words. You see, placing high-value letters like Q or Z on these cells. If a chicken eats charcoal,
U.S. soldiers would intentionally... This little donut drew a picture of his mom, but she looked like a She was like, good lord, you're a hairy So the kid was grounded, but she felt guilty for burning ice to her skin. This little...
If you touch something and your atoms line up in a perfect line, there is a tiny chance that you will pass through the object like a ghost. But this is statistically impossible. This is because atoms are surrounded by a layer of energy that repels other atoms like a magnet. This creates a small space that separates you, no matter how hard you press. So you actually never touched anything, and my client didn't touch that. If you touch something and your...
This little donut drew a picture. If you shoot samurai armor with a flaming...
If you fall and break your teeth, the dentist might shave down the surrounding area and use a special cement to restore them, as they serve as anchor points for the orthodontic wire. This exerts constant pressure that, over time, will straighten your teeth. As a final touch, a state-of-the-art device with a built-in flamethrower will help you stop. If you fall and break your teeth, start by cutting a wood stick in two and place them on a tree trunk with the flat side facing inward. Then secure them with 4 large rubber bands. Now, spread the wooden sticks apart using your foot to help you, and use a smaller one to lock the trap in place, ready for use. Finally, hang a couple of bananas as bait, making sure not to trip. Start by cutting a wood stick in two and place them on a tree trunk with the flat side facing inward. Then secure. If you go to sleep and suddenly feel like you're falling, there's actually a scientific reason for that weird sensation. McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers every single day, and
bears intentionally remove their fur to wash it during winter. This happens because snow settles between the hairs and can cool their internal temperature. It is a very old practice. Bears intentionally... The helmet has different blades and scissors, all working at the same time. By placing it on your head, it will start automatically cutting your hair. This technology is very accurate to not... The helmet has different blades and scissors, all working. As he approaches the escalator, he presses a special